So I'm going to walk you through a little bit about what I did to your image in order to arrive where I did with the final one on the forum. So as you can see, I downloaded your photo, put it into Photoshop, used my rectangular marquee tool to select an area. I held down the Shift key in order to get it perfectly square. I copied it, Command C or Control C, and then I started to paste it into the document. And the first one pastes over the old one, or the original, and then the next one's all pasted to the center of the image. So as you can see, I did this about 6 or so times, and then what I started to do is move these up into the top edge. Once I got them all in place, I merged those layers. So I selected the layers here and then merged them all into one. And then I used the free transform tool to reshape them a little bit to make them look more like a border. Then I copied that layer and pasted it down on the bottom, and the way you can do that quickly is to hold the Option key or the Alt key down while you're in your Move tool, which is this one here, and you hold it down and you see it turns into a double arrow. You click, hold, and drag, and it will create a new layer. So copied it, pasted it, put it on the bottom, and then I continued to make another one. And then I used the free transform tool to turn it vertically and placed it on the right hand side. I made another one on the left hand side, and then I merged all 4 of those so that they become one layer. Deleted a couple other layers, changed layer orders, and in order to bring that frame up to the top, and then move the apples that I had made the same way but with the round marquee tool, pulled those to the front. So I created one layer after making all of these apples together in separate layers, and then merged the layers. And then once I had that layer, I duplicated that layer and pasted it on there. And then I started to add more of the blue from that lower left hand photo of the tree by using the Select Color Range tool, where I could go in with this eyedropper and choose that blue. And then what it will do is create a selection of just anything that's blue. And then I copied it, pasted it, and then I moved them into different areas. And so as you can see, here's the selection of the blue. So because I already placed it all over the place, I don't need to do it again. I'm going to deselect it. And then what I did is I went back into my layers and I found the pumpkin layers. So I did this, let's shut off all these others. What I did on the pumpkin is I went into the original layer and I just did a random selection with the, let's see, what else have I got here? Nothing. Okay, so I went into my polygonal lasso tool right there, and I went over the pumpkin and I just made this odd shape. And ended up with this. So I select these, move them into place. I'm going to turn on everything else again so that I can see what's going on with the rest of the image. that over here so that I get this. And again, I'm going to hold down the Option key, drag that up so I get a whole bunch of them, and that way it creates a little variation on there. All the blue I'm going to merge into one layer. Shift key in the layer palette, go to the little menu here, merge layers. Now they're all one. I don't have to worry about them. Same with the pumpkins. Select them all, merge layers, they're all one. Oh, there's some more that I missed. Some other colors. These are all the apples. As you can see, so I'm going to go from here to here. I'm going to merge, well, let me turn them all back on first. And then I'm going to merge those layers. Bam, now they're all one. And these, which are that second set, I am going to merge as well. So now that layer is here, and this layer is here. And again, this is the frame. And then what I did here is I right click and go to layer properties. Oh no, not layer properties. Double click, brings up the layer styles, and I'm going to choose drop shadow. I'm going to increase the distance, and you can see that the distance does that. Spread is in relation to size, and when I do size, it sort of spreads out that it makes the shadow blurry. And then here's the spread. You can see the difference. The spread is how much darkness appears as a percentage. So if I like that, I click OK. It adds the layer here. I'm going to copy layer style, and then for that layer I'm going to paste the layer style. There goes that. So I'm also going to paste the layer style on the border, and it gives it a lot of depth. Now I want to push the background back a little more, so I think I'll do the same thing on layer 10, because that's going to create shadow. Really cool. Pushes it back, but a little too much. Well, what I'll do is I'll turn that on, leave it on, and then what I'll do is I'll go into image mode, or adjustments, I'm sorry, brightness and contrast, and I'll just turn the brightness up on it a little bit. So now it's got shadow, but the brightness kind of builds the contrast a little bit. And again, this is all just playing with these tools. And again, here's the original that I'll pull all the way up to the top layer. So that's the original. This is the new piece. Again, just play.